I never imagined that a single lapse in judgment, one selfish decision made in a moment I thought I could control, would unravel my entire world. But it did. I betrayed a man who had done nothing but love me completely, who had lifted me from the depths of my insecurities, who had built with me a life more beautiful than anything I ever dared to dream. My husband was a quiet strength, the kind of man whose very presence made the world feel less frightening. Solid, safe, steady, and I shattered that sanctuary. For what? A flicker of excitement, a reckless illusion of freedom that I convinced myself I deserved. It didn't begin with any grand betrayal. There was no premeditated plan, no secret pact. It started as something small, flirting at the office that I brushed off as harmless. Too many glasses of wine after long meetings, lingering glances that became stolen moments, little indulgences I excused as nothing more than sparks I had earned. I told myself I was still in control, that I could keep both worlds separate. I couldn't. He found out on a Tuesday evening. I remember the air was crisp when I came home, the scent of autumn sharp on my coat. I told him I'd gone to yoga. My hair was too perfectly styled, my perfume too fresh. I should have seen it then. The way the living room sat in still silence, the lamp casting long shadows across the hardwood, the way he sat on the couch like a man bracing for war. His phone was in his hand. His face was unreadable, carved from something harder than stone. The room felt suffocating with silence, like even the walls were holding their breath. After a pause that stretched unbearably long, he looked up and spoke. Just one question. Who is he? My stomach turned to ice. My breath caught. He knew. He had everything. The messages, the photos, even the voicemail I'd stupidly left behind. My voice soft, sultry, unmistakably meant for someone else. I didn't bother denying it. There was nothing left to protect. I waited for him to explode. For shouting, for fury, for something to match the devastation I'd caused. But it never came. He didn't throw anything. He didn't curse. He didn't cry. He just gave me silence. A silence so complete it felt like standing at the edge of a cliff, knowing I'd already stepped off. He looked at me like he didn't recognize me, like the woman he had loved had vanished, and a stranger had taken her place. That night, he didn't speak another word. He didn't sleep beside me. He didn't sleep at all. And by morning, he began packing, not his things, mine. I stood frozen as he moved through our bedroom with quiet precision, folding my clothes, stacking my books, clearing drawers with the same gentle care he once used to plan our vacations, to build our shared dreams. I begged him to talk, to yell, to say something, anything, that would prove I still meant something to him. But he moved around me as if I were a ghost. You wanted freedom, he said finally, his voice steady and stripped of emotion. Here it is. In the days that followed, he dismantled our life together piece by piece. He closed our joint bank accounts, canceled the anniversary trip we'd talked about for years, returned the necklace he'd bought me for Christmas, all without a trace of rage, without the fire I expected. That made it so much worse. His silence became my punishment, louder and more cutting than any shouted insult could ever be. Then came the night that truly broke me. I came home to find our family seated around the dinner table, a suffocating stillness hanging in the air. He hadn't told me they were coming. He hadn't told me anything. He stood in front of them all and laid out the truth, calmly, clearly. He told them everything. No theatrics, no spite, just the bare bones of my betrayal. How long, with whom, how he found out. My mother cried, her sobs tight with disbelief and shame. His father looked at me with a kind of quiet disappointment that stung deeper than any accusation. I couldn't meet anyone's eyes. And still, he wasn't done. He sent out a message to our circle of friends. A simple, respectful explanation of why he was leaving me. No lies, no embellishments, just the truth. And that truth rippled outward, fast and sharp. Friends stopped calling. The smiles at work grew strained. The whispers followed me like shadows. When he sold our house, our home, he didn't hesitate, listed it below market value. Too many memories, he said. I asked him where he planned to go. He only shrugged, somewhere without lies. Even our dog, the one I loved like a child, He gave away to a friend's farm where he said he'll have peace. He deserves better. I screamed. I pleaded. I told him he couldn't just erase us like this, that he couldn't erase me. But he met my gaze, calm and unflinching. You gave up your rights the moment you gave yourself to someone else. He never raised his voice. He didn't need to. Every choice he made said more than any yelling ever could. His composure carved deeper wounds than fury ever would have. And that was what destroyed me the most. I wanted him to rage, to argue, to slam a door, to tell me he still loved me underneath the pain. But he didn't. He let me fall. Now I live alone in a small, quiet apartment with hollow walls and no echoes of laughter. I still work the same job, but it feels empty without him in my corner. The man I cheated with, he vanished the moment things got complicated. I burned down everything, for nothing. And the worst part? He didn't retaliate. He didn't scream or shame me. He simply let me see it all fall apart, with grace. Sometimes, late at night, I check his social media. He looks peaceful now, healthier, stronger. He's dating again, carefully, thoughtfully. Part of me hopes he never knows how hollow I've become. But part of me hopes he does. Not to hurt him, but so he knows I never stop regretting it. People think punishment comes with chaos, with slammed doors and heated words. But the worst punishment is the quiet kind. The kind where someone simply walks away and leaves you to sit alone in the wreckage you created. That's what he did. And in that silence, I finally heard the scream.